Hello.
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 We have not started. We are going to be starting in about a minute or two just to give some folks an opportunity to join us. So I will be back in about a minute.
Perfect.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Good morning, everybody. Happy Wednesday, right? It is Wednesday today. And my name is Mauricio Cadavid. I am with Academic Technologies and Innovation, and we will be discussing GoReact today. And GoReact is a video feedback application that can be used for different options within the scope of what you want to be, or thinking about and using it. And this is going to be about a 45-minute actual presentation. I'm going to show you through GoReact and what it is, and then we are going to have a couple of minutes left for questions, discussions, etc. A couple of reminders is that I have everybody muted right now, but if you have any questions at any point, because GoReact, it's an application and there are some technical components of GoReact that we need to cover and pay attention to. You can go ahead and unmute yourself and ask me a question, or you can just simply use the chat feature that we have here in Zoom. I am going to be monitoring both the chat and the participants to make sure that I address all of your questions. What I am hoping to cover today with GoReact is an overview of the application, sort of how it works, where it is, how to find it. Then we'll take a look at the Blackboard integration of the tool. And by integration, if you have been attending or if you're planning on attending the workshops that ATI is talking about, every time that we talk about Blackboard integration, what we mean is when you see the word integration is that it is going to go into your grade center. Because this is a feedback application, you can choose to give points to the students for submitting their video assignments, or you can give points to students who provide feedback to the video assignments, etc. And so because of that, it is fully integrated within Blackboard, which means that any grade that you give within the application is going to populate in your Blackboard. We're also going to take a look at creating assignments and the settings for submitting assignments, both from a student perspective and from the faculty perspective, as well as what makes GoReact such a unique tool for providing feedback features, or the features that make GoReact be a unique feedback application. Okay, so having said that, let me jump into the course right now. So this is Please excuse anything on my left-hand side. This is not a good example of a good course. This is a testing ground. This is where I get to bring in all the different tools to play around with and give the workshops on. So please forget anything that we have here, that I have here on the left. This is GoReact. And so what I did is that I created a content area on my left-hand side, and I just called it GoReact so that I can put all the different GoReacts links there. If you are interested after the webinar, remember that it is being recorded for later access through our ATI website for you to, oh, thank you. You are not seeing my screen, and that's because I came out of the screen. Please let me know if you see it now. Okay, good. Thank you. That was an oversight on my end. In Zoom, I was sharing not the screen, but I was sharing the application for PowerPoint. That's sometimes what happens. So thank you for letting me know. Okay, so let me quickly go back to see. So GoReact is already integrated within Blackboard. And by integration means that everything is going to go into your Grade Center. And it is under your tools. When you click on tools, you get to go to GoReact here on the bottom. Even though this is for an assessment, you're not going to find it under the assessment tab. You're going to find it under tools because this is a tool. What I did here is that I created a section, a content area that I just simply called, GoReact videos. You can call them video critiques. You can call them video submissions, anything that allows the students sort of like a clear understanding of what that is. So I created two quick ones here just for us to practice throughout the workshop or the webinar, but it is as simple as just coming to tools, clicking on GoReact. I'm going to give this an assignment. So this could be, for example, field study submission, right? It is always best practice to put a description of what this is, of what the actual link is. Please submit your video for feedback. If I have an assignment that I can give students and say, like, remember that the assignment is here, I can just point them to where the assignment is. Now, you can choose to make this a non-gradable assignment. It could just be for participation. It could just be for, students practice, etc. Excuse me, etc. Now, if you want this to enable grades, you can then just go ahead and say, okay, this is going to be 25 points. I'm going to let students see it. Obviously, you get to see the due date. Now, later on, I'm going to talk about the use of the integration or the possible integration of rubrics. And by rubrics, you're going to have a particular grade value, right? It's okay if right now you put 25 and later on a rubric is 30 points that you created. Blackboard will tell you when you are grading, so this is worth 25 points, but the rubric is worth 30 points. What do you want me to do? And you can override it. You can always change the points by just coming here and editing the assignment and just put the same value as the rubrics will be. So I'm just going to leave this one as evaluation. Yes, 25 points. And the regular things that you have within Blackboard, which is, yes, I want students to see it, or I want students to only be able to see it. If this is going to be an assignment that is available during a particular date and time, then I will go ahead and restrict that here. But for the purpose of this webinar, I'm going to leave this one there. I'm going to click on submit. And what it does is just that it simply creates a link to the assignment, right? Which means that there's still no assignment. This is just a link. The next thing that I will do is I am going to click on that link and it's going to take me into this page. Now, I know that you see sign in You do not have to sign in. You already sign in because we are going to go React through the field of, through within Cal State San Bernardino, through Blackboard. You're not going to GoReact.com to create an account. If you go and you go to GoReact.com, create an account, that is going to be your individual sort of unrelated account to Blackboard. It is not going to be integrated here, which means that anything that you do on that outside account will not be reflected here. All you got to do is just simply click on this. Do not click on sign in. And then you have the three different, yes, the question is students, they are already logged in through Blackboard. That's why we're keeping everything within Blackboard. They don't have to go anywhere. And you are the only one that gets to see this page because you're the one that is creating the assignment. When the students come to complete the assignment, they'll be taken directly to the assignment. Thank you for the question. So we have three different options for assignments. The ones that are mostly used is your standard assignment, which is students are just going to upload a video of themselves and then have other students provide feedback. And the feedback comes in the forms of audio, video, text, etc. The stimulus, if you are, for example, using a video, and then let's say that this is a sign language course, or this is a Spanish course that needs to be translated, and then you upload a video in which, if it is a sign language, you're going to say, watch this video, and then record yourself translating, to being the interpreter for this video. And so what GoReact would do in this case is that it records the video that you provide for being translated or interpreted, and it will record the student who is doing the interpretation, and that's what stimulus is. For sign language, for example, you can actually do a video of doing your ABC, signing, and then the student has to actually try to do it themselves and then compared. We can do this for different other things like in music and in art, right, in which you are going to provide a video of, let's say, a particular scene or a particular instrument being played, and then you have to tell the student now do the same thing that the video just did, and then you're able to compare those. Comments only, just simply you will upload a video and all the students will have access to is the comments, the markers, and the rubric. They are not going to submit any videos of themselves. This is going to be a video that you provide. It could be a video of yourself, or it could be a video from YouTube, etc. Right now, we're going to create a standard. Again, do not click on sign in. Okay, and I'm going to click on next. So now it tells me the field study submission. This is a private, an assignment type is standard. By default, all of these videos are always private because you are recording yourself, or because you are recording yourself in an environment that may not be too conducive to being recorded. By default, GoReact is going to tag it as being private. Private means that only you will be able to see it. Nobody else is going to be able to see it. So you can actually, if you were having a class in which you are doing, social work, psychology, or something in which you are telling your students, please upload a blog, your daily life, in this quarantine times, and students feel a little bit uncomfortable of other students watching themselves, and their assignment is just record yourself doing a 5-minute monologue of how you feel during this time, etc. Then that would be for, like a good private sort of thing. Closed peer review. Students are going to be able to provide a critique or a feedback on the recording, but their feedback is only visible to the presenter or the instructors. This means that if you're watching a particular video and then you provide feedback to that student, when another student logs in, they're not going to see what other people are saying. You know, only the person who is the presenter, the participant who uploaded the video, the author of the original video, is going to be able to see it, and the faculty. So yeah, the one that is mostly used or that is being used most here with courses that have implemented GoReact and Cal State is the open peer review, which is like public speaking, right? You record your video, you upload it, and then the class is going to go in and take a look at it, and everybody will see what everybody else is saying, etc. Right now, we're going to leave this just as a private. Okay, and remember that the assignment in Blackboard, I said that it was going to be graded. If I put that is not graded, that means that there is not going to be an option within the GoReact to be able to do the grade, because it's already set at 25. So it kind of doesn't make sense to put that graded there and then a not graded here. You notice that I put 25 points for the assignment, so I'm just simply going to repeat this. And the only reason why I'm repeating it here is so that I can do inline grading. Inline grading allows you to be watching the video when the students submit it, and then being able to provide the video directly there that goes straight into the grade center. Right. Again, I can change this at any point, and I can just say, you know what, instead of points, I am going to use the instructor rubric, which takes you to rubrics that you have developed. An instructor rubric, and if you're taking notes, let me clarify this right now, is that there is a difference between an instructor rubric and a student rubric. Your instructor rubric, for example, if I choose this one and I click OK, this particular rubric is worth 100 points, and you see how I cannot change this. And it's an instructor rubric. That means that only you would see it, right? And that's the one that you are using for grading the assignment, right? You can, just simply click on no, I want to remove it, and then you can create student rubric, and I'll show you how to do that, which is if you are going to provide your students with a simple rubric for them to evaluate or to grade the feedback that they're giving to their students, to their classmates, then they can just simply use that rubric. So anything that we are doing can be modified later, so nothing is set in stone. Okay, some of the options that we have are the marker set, right? I'm not going to talk about any of these right now because I am going to show you inside the video how you can edit. The only thing that I am going to say is the marker set. It's a very good feature for when you are telling your students, we are going to be looking at a particular set of things, right? So if it is for a particular speech, we're going to be taking a look at, is the audio, does it have good audio quality? Does it have good video quality? Does it have a pleasant environment? It's lighting appropriate? Is the student wearing an appropriate attire? For example, is the student speaking too fast? So what you do is that you're able to create markers, which I am going to show you how to do, so that students can just simply click. It's just a click instead of having to type what those markers are. Like this particular one here, great effective communication, poor sound quality, poor visual quality, etc. And it shows you right there. So now the students will simply click on those markers, and instead of having to type them up. Then you have your student rubric, which you can create. It can be the same. All of these are test ones, right? And so you can create anything that you want for the students to tell your students, this is what they're going to be using. And this is how, the rubric will look like. if you are telling students to do it. Instructor attachments or recording instructions is you can create a video of yourself telling your students, this is what I want your video to look like. Or you can do a video that says, this is not what I want you to do. And then feedback instructions, of course, this is where you would tell your students in text, make sure that your feedback is, direct, is constructive, make sure that your feedback actually points out at issues that can be fixed or things that we've discussed during the class. Do not just simply say good job, because although that is feedback, it doesn't really tell you anything, right? So a very simple setup. I'm going to come here to the right and click on done. And now this is how it looks like for both you and your students. This is how the GoReact looks like within your Blackboard. So there is the title, field study submission. It's a standard assignment. It's private, right? And if there were any instructions, they will be located right here. On your right-hand side, so if you take a look at some of these options, the ones that are elected right now are students have a rubric, and we are using markers, meaning that students are going to be able to just simply click on those markers for quicker feedback provision. Then we don't have a presenter slide desk, means that if you are asking your students to present and then to also submit a PowerPoint of their presentation, if this was enabled, it will require the students to do it. And there is no time limit. If you were doing a public speaking and then you said you have to speak for 2 minutes or 1 minute or 5 minutes, you could actually put a time limit here. It will create a timer on the screen for the student to know that they need to complete within it. If you are doing timed, you can actually create a rubric in which you can say, did the student finish too early? Did the student go past their time? And of course, past their time means that you can tell that when the 5 minutes ended, the student didn't finish what they were talking about, etc. And then you have how many attempts. Are you going to allow students to do a couple of trial and errors, before submitting their final exam, or is this just going to be a one-time, right? That's how it looks like. And then the student, I'm a student now, I'm going to come in and start the assignment. This is all that the student gets. I am going to say, field study, and I'm going to call it San Bernardino School District Class 1, right? And for presenter is always going to give you the option of who the presenter is. Now, if I was doing this as a group, and then I was submitting the assignment for the group, I could either find here that says group 1 where I'm assigned, or I could submit here based on who is actually doing the presentation. Then you have upload and record. Okay, I want you to pay quick attention to this because most students are going to be using their phones to record their videos. Depending on what kind of assignment it is, right? If this is something where you are asking your students to record themselves at home, they're most likely going to be using a webcam, their laptop, etc. But if this is sort of like, go give me a blog of what your city looks like in quarantine, and they have to walk around with their phones taking a video, right? They're going to be using the record. The reason why I'm telling you this is because Apple phones or iPhones do not allow you to record directly into the assignment. You cannot click record and then be using, even if you are on your phone, nothing is going to pop up. If you have anything else but an iPhone, the record function will work directly into it. However, students can still use Apple iPhones, the iPhones, if they do the recording and instead of recording it, they click on upload. Because when you click on upload, it's going to say choose a video. And then this is going to ask you, do I go to where the videos are, in your phone, which will be once you select the video, right? You'll click on that video, you click on open. It's going to say students do have a limit of 2 gigs. So let me select something that is smaller, open, and then they'll click on start. The video will begin to upload and it'll be done right when it's uploaded. Now, while the video is uploading, let me tell you a couple of good things about GoReact, which is on the student and on the faculty end, you do not have to worry about the file format of the video. GoReact uses the same technology as YouTube does, which is it uploads, accepts the majority of filed formats for videos and images. Obviously, you're doing videos here, and it will convert it in a universal format that anybody that, be it the faculty or another students, where they click on the assignment to view it, it'll recognize the operating system and then display it that way, kind of like what happens with YouTube. So that's one thing that you do not have to be telling your students. And now there it is. It is now going to process the video. On the left-hand side, it's going to take maybe a minute or two, depending on the size and the quality of the video. But one of the good things about this is that you're not having to tell your students, oh, if you have an iPhone, you cannot do it, or if you have a Surface, you cannot do it. Anything that student has that records their video, they're going to be able to. Now, obviously, there's always going to be that student that uses, Illustrator Pro or Camtasia or any sort of high-performance video editing software. With those, you would have to tell students that, correct, Professor Samantha, for iPhone users, use the upload, not the direct recording. When a student is using a format a video production, in Mac or PC or even on their phone, they have to make sure that they export it into a video format that would be like MP4, MOV, etc. Because if they're going to just download a Camtasia video, or they're going to have a Photoshop or Illustrator file, those are not going to do here, because those are specific files or project files for that software. But anything aside that, students are going to be able to see it. So you saw how easy it is. Now, I also want to point out that one of the reasons why we instructional designers love GoReact is because this is not taking up any space on Blackboard space. Excuse me, this is going straight into the AWS, which is the Amazon Web Services servers of GoReact, which means that they're the ones that are taking care of the storage, the processing, the bandwidth, and all of those different things. And that takes offloads usage and traffic from Blackboard, which means that it's, unless you're having bad connectivity to the internet, these things are usually pretty quick to upload and to view. So there it is. Mauricio just uploaded field study for this class. Now I'm a student or I'm the faculty, and I am going to watch this particular video, and I am going to give feedback. Now, just this is my video from my helmet cam for my motorcycle. I record videos. Well, every time that I'm on the motorcycle, I record videos for my own, safety, etc. So I uploaded this particular video that I know that has a section in which I almost got, sideswiped, by a vehicle that was breaking some rules, etc. So let's assume that I am in a class and the instructor was asking, to critique a video with regards to what went wrong, what could have been, done better, etc. The students will see the video. You'll notice on the top right-hand corner, it says autoplayed. You can just turn that. If you are the instructor, and you don't want the videos to autoplay, you can just click them, or you can just say, you know what, every time I go to a video, I want it to go there. So let's quickly just become familiar with the screen and how it looks. On your, I'm sorry, on the left-hand side, you have the video, which students are seeing. There is no, Professor, oh, I'm sorry, I don't think I can pronounce your name or your last name. I will address that in just a second, Professor, with the PowerPoints and how they're doing it.
All right, thanks.
So the video will be here on the left-hand side, and then you see that there is going to be a feedback graph that is going to appear. However, the main comment area is here on your text. Students are going to have different options, to comment. One of them is the text, which is the common one. Then there is a video. Then there is audio. They can upload, if they were doing a particular video already and rehearsing how to do it. They can do YouTube, but we don't really recommend it just because of issues with YouTube's with regards to taking them out of here and into YouTube, etc. Or if this is an instructor, this is you, and you've already have recorded yourself with several feedback templates, a template that says this was wonderful, I really like how you were able to engage in this and to present that, the audio, blah blah blah. Then you can just go to your library of videos of pre-made feedback and then just upload them. So this is where it happens. By default, we are in the text format for you to be able to add text. Then you're going to see these colors here, and these are the markers that we selected, and then I'll show you how those markers work. Any comment that you provide is going to appear on your top, and then you have both the comments tab and your rubrics tab. So let me exit out of this, and then I'll show you sort of how it works. So here I am at the beginning of the video. I'm going to start playing the video, right? And then I'm going to say something like, I'm either the instructor, I'm going to provide feedback, and I'm going to say, wow, I am nervous seeing this. A couple of things that you will notice are the moment that I started typing, it's telling me how many characters, and it's telling me which timeline. What that means is that the moment that I, and also that the video stopped. I didn't have to stop the video, it automatically stopped. The moment that I click on enter, the video continues, but now we have, but now we have at 11 seconds, this student or the faculty said, wow, I'm nervous seeing this, right? Once there is a comment here at 11 seconds, right, you notice that now there are a couple of other options. This first arrow is for replying. This one is for editing your comment, and this one is for deleting your comment. So if you say, what do you mean replying, Mauricio? The way that it works is that when you are providing your feedback, so I'm going to continue. There is the video. And then I'm going to say, right, so now I'm asking a question. Enter. I'm just going to pause it real quick because it shows you when I click on 17, you'll notice that the video on the left-hand side loops or goes back to it. If I want to say, go back to 11, every time I click on it, it'll take me to that spot on the 11th. And then now that I have entered two comments, I can start seeing where those comments are. So then I can start to see student engagement. If this was from a class where I was asking students to have a reaction to a particular video, I'm going to start seeing all of those different reactions of where it is, sort of like a cluster of things. And this is what it's telling me, that there are comments that are in that section. So I see those comments, and then I can go on those comments and then see them. Now, when I play the video, you will notice that the comments appeared almost like closed captioning. So I'm gonna press there, and then when it gets to that almost 11 seconds, you will see that it says, the comment and who said the comment. And there it is. So, oops, so you see, Mauricio Cadavid said, wow, I am nervous seeing this, which is that comment. Yes, Professor, you are going to get the recording for this through, and all of our ATI recordings, you're going to get it through our ATI website. Okay, so so you see that. The moment that I'm going to go to 17, there it is. Mauricio Cadavid, is this even legal? Right, that was the question. So we get back to this option here for the reply. If this was the faculty who's asking something, or if this is a student who's watching this, let's assume that this is a student from a different state that is not California. It could be Nevada, right? When the student leaves a question here, I, as I'm the author of the video, I can come and reply to the comment. And then I can say, yes, according to California Motor Vehicle Code, and then give the code, I think it's like 1855, I forget. California allows for lane splitting up to 30 miles per hour above the traffic speed. And then I can just say, there it is. So now the person who asked me this question, says, is this even legal? I, as a student, can respond. If you are the faculty who asked the student the question, like, you forgot to mention this, or what did you mean by this? The student can respond to this. Then the person that receives this can then say, wait, you are saying that if the traffic is 65 miles per hour, that you can go 95 miles per hour, right? And then I can come back and then reply to this one and say, no, it means that if traffic is going at 10 miles per hour, I can legally, go up to 40 miles per hour when lane splitting, things like that. So as you can see, now here comes the point. I'm having a conversation, and all of these conversation occurred within that frame of the 17-second frame of the video, in which a student provided a critique or feedback, right? And then based on that feedback, you can go ahead and ask. If you have used Blackboard discussions, it becomes a little bit inconvenient in how you're asking questions, who asked it and everything. This is a way in which nothing else has happened in the page, but you can see that within that 17th, the person asked the question, and then all of these, because they are all, because they are all within that 17-second, as a student and as a faculty, you can see the conversation, you can ask questions, you can then, have discussions, etc., and then you continue. If this was something, and by the way, the same options that I have here of text, video, audio, I also have them when I am responding. So I can respond with text, I can respond with video, I can respond with audio. So give you just a second until you start testing your microphone. Hi, this is Officer Smith, and I am retired California Highway Patrol, and actually you are incorrect. The code is not 1885, the code is this, and 30 miles per hour does not actually mean that you can do, right? Anyway, so finish. And now is processing the audio. So if you have a lot of feedback to provide to your students, or you're just the type of person that you just love to provide a lot of feedback, or that you feel that providing good feedback for the particular assignment, it's greatly beneficial to the student. Like in this particular case, and you think, oh my gosh, I am not going to type all of this stuff here, then you can just simply provide an audio. So this was a 20-second audio that the student can then just come and press on play, and then you'll be able to the student is going to be able to hear it there. So now you've done not only a conversation, but you wouldn't be able to do this in any other format in which you can just have a conversation with the student back and forth about a particular piece of video. And we haven't even gotten to the part where, I almost get ran over, and yet you're already having an engaging conversation. Now, remember, if there are any questions, please keep them coming through the group chat, or just unmute yourself, because it's already been 40 minutes and I want to make sure that I cover all the basics that you need to know. So I was mentioning about the markers. So this is how the markers work. So I'm watching the video, and there's poor quality, sound quality. I'm going too fast, or there's too much wind. So I can just simply do this. Now, there's poor visual quality, and I can just simply click on those. And so what this does, right, is you notice that it didn't stop the video. Okay, yes, Professor, give me just 1 second and I'll show you those controls again. So now you see on your left-hand side where we have our timeline, right? You have your comments, and then you start to see the markers. So it becomes a visual of you. If you are telling your students to pay attention to a particular part, right? If this was a language course and you're asking students, pay attention to the pronunciation of, this word, or this blending sound, and the student is not doing it, instead of saying in here, instead of typing, oh, you're not really doing the blending sound, it should sound like this, you can do a couple of things. You can then just say blending sound, right? And then if you put it here, it'll show you. Or if the person actually did a good job with the blending sound, you can just say good job with the blending sound. Or you can just say, oh, I can see what you're trying to do, but please keep your tongue lower to pronounce this glottal, sort of, because it comes from the throat. I mean, if there is anybody here that is from public speaking, please forgive me if I am not doing it correctly. But that's sort of what it will do, which is you are providing students with those particular markers in which you can tell the students, just watch this, just listen for this, and every time you find it, if you can recognize it, just put the marker there. And it starts to put, again, it is timed so that you can just simply click on it, and then it shows you where it is and what you did it. And then at the bottom here, it'll show you there are 2 markers for poor sound quality, and there are 3 markers for poor visual quality, etc. And that's how the markers work. If you wanted to edit the markers, we simply come, when we get out of here, of this assignment, I'll show you how to do it. Now, the controls for audio and text responses, so those controls are located right here, and I'm doing a text response. If I wanted to do video response, now there is my video response, right? It's going to say, first it's going to test the camera, and it's going to text the audio here, and then when I am ready to go, I am going to say, that was really good. This motion means this, but if you do it here, right, for sign language, or I can just be doing something in which, like, remember what we talked about in this portion, right? And then I finish, and now that video is going to be right at 58. right? If I had my driver's manual here and I would have said, you know, this is what you're supposed to be doing when lane splitting, I would have been showing it. And then it shows on your right-hand side either a reply or when you press, that's how the video format would work. So now, as the faculty, I'm providing video feedback to the student, right? Oops. I can provide audio feedback to the student, right? I can upload the video, upload the, oh, so let me show you. If you can see the screen, here are the controls. Below the markers, yes, your text, your video, your audio, your upload. If you have something pre-recorded, these are some pre-recordings that I have. Okay. All right, let me clear these drawings. So there it is. I'm providing comments. I'm providing different types of comments, right? Right now it's telling me that there are 13 comments. It shows me where they are and what they are, the different forms of those comments. And then remember that we said, well, what about the rubrics, right? So here is a rubric, right? I remember that I said that it was not graded, so I'm going to go back. These are the instructions. I am going to edit the assignment. It's going to tell me, hey, look, you got a feedback already. And then I am going to select which rubric to use. So in this case, I'm going to create a copy of this one, right? If it's one that I've created, save and close. So now students are using this one. I am going to use an instructory rubric. And for that one, I'm going to go to this speech. I'm going to click OK, save and close. Now, when I click on rubrics, there is the rubric. Since I am the instructor, I see the rubric for the instructor, the grading. See, I cannot, on my top right-hand corner, I cannot enter anything here because the score is calculated by this. So now I'm going to watch the video and then I'm just going to evaluate it. Yes, I am very captured by this. Oh, yes, I have credibility because I can see it. Well, he could have done better about what he was talking about. Nope, this is not very related to my audience right now. And I do not have this, right? So I can just completely go and do this. Yes, yes, well done, good job. Right through I'm doing the video. I can wait until the end of the video. I can do it during the time that I am doing the video. Right? You notice that on the right-hand side, the moment that I put a grade, it shows up on my grade right here. Here is in time limit, good or very good, topic interesting, and then I can just say something. On the bottom, you see at the bottom, 66 out of 100, right? That's what that grade is based on the rubric. And then I'm gonna go to post rubric. Right? The moment that I say, you know, post the rubric and I exit, it's going to move to graded. You can modify rubrics as much as you want, and I'll show you how to modify the rubrics. So now you notice that as the instructor, this is no longer here on the ungraded. Now it has moved to the graded, right? And so graded, and then it shows me 66. That's what the student got out of the 100 points. Now, let's look at those rubrics. So I'm gonna go into like the student rubric, the instructor, yeah, the student rubric. These are your options here. Rubric elements. you have points, right? If you just want to say, you know, how many points would you give to this? Check boxes, numeric scales. So in this particular numeric scale, you can add number 6, 7, or 8. 6, 7, 8 points. You can add the descriptions, right? So that means that you can bring it over. Again, you have the numeric scale, which is the one that I did, or the qualitative scale. I'll put it right here, which is poor. I can add more things if I want to, right? And then always, you know, you have your text response. So I can modify any of these. And if I remember, if I close this. So for example, you see that this particular student look comfortable is out of 8 points. It shows it to me max 8 points. If I remove this, it's going to take that maximum point value right here. Okay. If I say that the maximum points here is 10 for being clear, then it puts that maximum value here in clear. Then I'm going to save and close. Save and close. And now that rubric is being updated here. Let me go back to the question about the PowerPoint. So the students, and can students record their PowerPoint slides or images on their computer screen as they are presenting? So not for what they're doing here, not for what GoReact is, because GoReact, it's more about an actual video of the student doing something. But if you wanted to have students present based on a PowerPoint, what you can do is have the students record their PowerPoint as a presentation, or timed presentation, or a PowerPoint show. And then they can record that show as a video and then upload it here. But for this, the student cannot, if I am going to go and say to start assignment, presenter Mauricio, right? And I'm going to record. The moment that it says record, is going to record me. There is no option for me to upload a PowerPoint or anything in here. It's just going to be me recording here. Now, I could do a screen capture, and I could bring in, for example, this particular screen, and I'm showing them. So in a way, I could do a PowerPoint, but then I lose me. There is no, what you may call it, PowerPoint. I mean, not image of me being recorded, right? So that could potentially be one way, which is to share your screen and then share their screen of an application that you are using, or a tab that you're using, and then talk. The moment that you do that, it loses you. But if the presentation, or if the assignment is, and I'm going to just cancel this, if the assignment is for students to record themselves doing the PowerPoint presentation, and you don't care about seeing their faces, and you just want their PowerPoints and their voice, then yeah, that's how you will be able to do it. And believe it or not, that is pretty much it. That is GoReact. Let me make sure that I went through overview of the application, how it integrates with Blackboard, how you create an assignment, some of the settings for submitting, and the feedback features. So I think I have covered everything that I needed to cover here. Do you have, I'm gonna open it for discussions. Do you have any questions? You are very welcome, Professor Hart.
Hi, Mauricio.
Yes.
Could you show, there was an option you mentioned at the very beginning of where we upload a video and we have them just record either textual or video comments on that video?
Absolutely. So you can walk me through to see if it is what I'm doing. So what you want to do is in the particular one, you want them to upload the video, correct?
It was, I think it was at the very beginning where it's not a standard. It's one of the other things, stimulus.
Oh, okay.
Comment only.
Yes.
Stimulus or comment only.
Okay. So this is what I'll do. What I'll do is, since this one's already created for being a particular thing, I'm going to go to GoReact. And I'm going to do I'm going to clear this one, stimulus. I am going to grade this, just put it 10 points. I'm going to go submit. And so now when I click on this stimulus, it's going to take me to the first part of creating the assignment.
Mm-hmm.
And in this one, I am going to create a stimulus. And then it says right here, they watch a prompt media while recording a video response at the same time. I'm going to go next. And now it tells me, what do you want to do? Do you want to do a video that a student has already uploaded, or do you want to do a video of yourself? And so let's say that it's instructor selected. I'm just going to go and find a video here. Anything that I want there, I'm just going to, again, pick this video, go, okay, click start. And now this is going to be the stimulus video that I'm doing. So because I'm uploading a particular video of a splitting lanes in traffic, right? If the assignment was, okay, now I want you to go record yourself doing it, right? And so what the student will be able to do is, based on that video that I just showed them, this is how you would do it. They can record themselves doing it. If this is going to be about you demonstrating something, you know, like try to follow me with my hand gestures, or try to do this, or this is how you would sing, you know, if this was a music class, or this is how you would pronounce this particular word, etc. It would be recording yourself, right? You will be uploading a video of that lesson, and then having the students record themselves trying to mimic, you know, what you are doing. Does that make sense?
It totally makes sense. And then at this, would I be able to link instead to a YouTube video that I want them to comment on, rather than uploading a video?
Correct. One of the things that you know, that GoReact tells us that it's kind of like better to do is, if you are able, if you're not, then it's fine. If you are able to download the YouTube video into an actual file, rather than putting it as a link to the YouTube, that also works better. But yes, that would be something what you would want to do, which is, let's go to this video. This was a YouTube video that was posted from, you know, let's say that we are doing news analysis of social media or something, and this was a video that was uploaded, you know, in Syria, that nobody else was showing because it was from a particular, anyways. You can then upload that YouTube video and then tell students, analyze this.
Great.
Okay.
So, but
and so now,
I also could do a link, right? Just to
correct.
A YouTube video. Okay.
Correct. And so now here is, you know, you notice that there's nothing. I'm going to start my assignment.
What?
Stimulus. And then I'm going to record. And so this is what it looks like. See? So there's that video on the left-hand side.
Uh-huh.
And that's the stimulus video.
Great.
Right? And then on my right-hand side, here's the video that I'm doing based on that stimulus, right? And so here I am, and it's going to, the moment that I play here, right, I'm going to be like, ooh, watch out, or hey, you know, like responding to that video.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
It does. It's great.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Let's see. So there's really not apps for downloading YouTube videos, but what I can show you is that there is a, I have something, YouTube to, This is one of the websites that I follow or that I have. This is a particular one. And what it is that you put the link of YouTube here of the video that you want to download. And then you click download, and then it will create a video file for you. I also do one that is YouTube to MP3, which is, I have this on my Mac, and what it is that you put the video, the YouTube video link here, and when you convert it, it takes out the video, and then it just leaves it as an audio. Okay, let's see, okay, so it's 12:30, and I want to make sure that I addressed questions. Thank you, Professor Sunny Hyung. I hope that this answered your questions. It is relatively simple. You can see that it's very versatile. You're very welcome, Professor Smeta. And I just sent you a link on the chat. It says Calendly. That is my personal link for, if you click on it, it's going to take you to my personal calendar in which you can do a support meeting for 60 minutes or 30 minutes. Thank you, Dr. Katansariet Rite, and thank you, Professor Acosta, and thank you, Parastife. I am so sorry. Thank you, Dr. Shan, and thank you, Dr. O. Thank you, Professor Maria Garcia Puente. Thank you, Professor Diaz-Rico. So I sent you those. This is my my link to creating a support meeting, and it can just be something that you just want to talk about, anything else, or about GoReact. I am the GoReact representative here on campus. And so any questions that you have, just go ahead and send them to me. And then I also sent a workshop registration form. And the way that we are using this is to determine there is still demand for workshops and who is attending the workshops. Plus, if you are needing to do something for your FAR and you wanted to prove or to show professional development, you can just simply contact us and say, can you send me a list of the workshops that I have attended, and we will use the data generated from this form to say, here are the workshops, the dates, and the times that you attended that you can use for your FAR. And thank you, Professor Adalia Garcia. Again, I am Mauricio Cadavid with ATI. This is going to be posted in the ATI website. So when you go to ATI, that's CSUSB, oops. You will notice that on our continuity page, you have the first thing that you see is the current workshops that we have scheduled for the remainder of this week and next week. Also, the past workshop recordings. So when you click on past workshop recordings, they're going to show up like this. So right now, you are, we're still uploading the Friday ones, but you will see they're going to show like this. If you wanted to attend any other of my previous ones, you can just click on this ones, and then you can also watch it. And with that, I am going to let you go. Please stay safe. Let me know if there's anything else that I can assist you with. Thank you very much for coming, and we'll see you soon.